Chair, with your kind permission, what I was saying is that after this is generated, after every vehicle consumes fuel, there's an ETR receipt that is generated at the petrol station, and it has a specific number plate, which is additional to what is a...
No, but why can't it be here? This is a service provider statement. This comes from Vivo Energy Kenya. Transaction report for customer invoice. This is the one for invoicing, isn't it?
Yes.
So how do we invoice without being specific on the vehicles that have been fueled?
Because CEO, those two documents are supposed to corroborate each other. You have your statement here and you are checking against the ETR receipts. If your statement has no, I am just imagining the officer who has to verify those physical receipts, Chair, and he has a dump of all these receipts. And he has to find each transaction here. There is no reference to any vehicle. He has to look at the time or the place.
Mr. Chair, if I may confirm, what happens for the statement, we don't get it on daily basis. We get it maybe weekly or monthly.
That's not the point.
That's where you're going wrong.
That's not the point.
You see, the concern here is the controls. The controls. And I don't know why you are being a bit defensive. Because without controls, you can't tell which vehicle has been fueled. And that's why we are highlighting this report, saying that this report is incomplete. You either ask the service provider to include a column on the registration number, but otherwise this cannot be an accountability document. Because you don't know whether these are tractors or whatever assets that belong to individuals.
Excuse me, Chair.
Because even in terms of importance, they have the location of the petrol station, but not the registration of the vehicle. Governor, honestly. In terms of priority of the importance of information, you would expect that the vehicle registration is first.
Chair, Your Excellency Governor Sakaja, would I be wrong if I took administrative action against your officer by assuming how he's inept?
You're not allowed.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Also a new chief officer.
No,
This is 2020.
then he should be telling us.
And he should be telling us he wasn't there.
Looking at him.
Yes.
Why just say what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Tell us
You are not there.
He should have told us what he has already done and he has failed to get it, and he should be one telling us what he discovered.
You know.
Senator Adulo? Senator Adulo?
Yeah, from the brief we had, Governor, from the brief we had this morning, the situation is still the same.
Let him explain to you.
Yeah?
Chair,
Wait a minute. I'll give you an opportunity.
The situation is still the same. Initially in the morning we were told 7 cards. Now you are saying you have 45 cards against 500 and something vehicles. Which criteria do you use? Allocate 45 cards against 500 plus vehicles. So what we want to know is the control and transparency in the manner in which those cards are allocated and the consumption of the fuel plus the budget allocated to it. Thank you.
Senator Gerard King?
Chair, I think, Chief Officer, what you should be telling us, a question through the governor, out of these 550 vehicles, are there any vehicles that are leased from any agency or individuals, number one? Number two, apart from this, can you recall this document that does not have registration number? And I know, Governor, you are aware about the engine capacity, because we don't want people driving LX600 masquerading as a county government of Nairobi, and you know very well it will not be prudent use of resources. So the question is he able to display the registration number through the chair and law? Also the engine capacity? You remember during Uhuru's time, he had brought was it a 1300 cc?
Yeah.
But it will not be, but even if it is not in law,
there's no law that limits the vehicles accountable.
I don't know why governor is,
but you know,
I don't know why governor is defensive.
Regulations are also subsidiary legislation.
Correct.
So if it's captured in regulation or in circulars by bodies that are constitutionally mandated to provide those guidelines, then they form part.
They form part of it.
But that's not that's not the argument. I don't want you to just.
The point I'm trying to make, Governor, is.
Yeah. So he's
I'm not talking about this. I don't know his private vehicle, so why would I discuss?
It's the one you said.
No. Like 600, I was just an example.
And that's why we want the registration number,
Yes.
so that we can check whether
Yeah.
that particular one is being fueled
And
using
Chair
county cards.
Cherargei should declare interest. The governor has said he has given him a lift in that very same vehicle.
No.
Where did
Yeah,
they
I've
fuel?
never
Where did you fuel?
boarded any governor's vehicles.
It's the same one.
I don't
was the
know.
senator.
I don't know his vehicles. I can't really remember
Anyway, Chair,
because he's a man of means. So I can't really remember which one. The point I'm trying to make, and I think Governor, you need to assist us on this, is the prudent use. I was saying, imagining that your county government is driving a 6,000 cc vehicle, which we should drive less so that you consume less fuel. That is my argument. Because at the end of the day,
Not
I
about
don't.
fuel or about.
Order, Governor, order. If you need a break for the sugar levels, you ask for it, because I'm seeing they are going down. But as we are,
Yeah, can I
as you are still
conclude?
alert.
So
Senator
my
Cherargei,
point on
finally,
this, I wanted to make
Chair,
a
point of
quick
order,
point.
Chair.
Let's allow
Just to
Senator-
conclude,
let's allow
one,
Senator Cherargei to
Through the
conclude.
Chief of Staff of Mobility, are there among 550 vehicles you have, are there any that are leased? Number two, could you be able to display, apart from registration number, display the engine capacity for accountability purposes so that it becomes easy to account?
Senator Mariam Omar.
Chair, mine is also partly the same. I wanted to ask if Governor, currently, how do you do your asset, your fuel register? Because if there is lacking, because this one there is a problem of registration, is it the same continue?
Senator Onyonka, no, Senator Mofa.
You know, Chair, we in this arrangement, you are interrogating history. So we want to know from the CEO now in the current situation, do we have that kind of confusion? The current.
I think we have asked the same things in different in different words. Governor, we want to understand the current arrangement, whether the controls have been tightened or the situation is as flagged by the Auditor
Chair,
General.
perhaps before it does. Governor, if you see everything that is in place in Nairobi is very deliberate. If you go to the next annexure, which is a list of insurance of your vehicles, you will see that all the information we are looking for on the fuel side is included in this report. Because you will see registration number of a vehicle, the make, the model, the type, the year of manufacture, everything is captured there. So why it was not done the same, even the value, why it was not done the same for fuel is the cause of concern. So perhaps when you respond as to what you have done now, speak to the deliberate nature of the omission of some of those information during that time.
Okay, let's allow them to respond. I think we have canvassed enough.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. I will start with the first question on whether we have any leased vehicles. I can confirm currently we do not have any leased vehicles. What we are using is county vehicles. Number two, Honorable Senator asked what is the criteria that we use while issuing these cards. What we have done is that we have given per sectors, especially for the sectors that have a lot of fleet. For example, mobility and works, they have a card. For example, health, it has a card. And then the reason as to why they increased is when we came into office through the governor, we introduced cards for CCs and chief officers. So for the vehicles that are used by CCs and chief officers, they have specific cards for those vehicles. Moving forward, a senator asked what is the current situation. We have improved on the situation. The records that we have for this year and this administration, we have the registration, the model, the price, the liters, and the receipt number. And to add on the improvement that we are still doing, we are in the process of having a containerized fuel station for the county. We have organized with our supplier such that when we get that containerized fuel, each vehicle, and I'm talking about each vehicle, will have a dummy card, because there will be no need to load that card with credit, because we will have our own fuel. But the purpose of that dummy card is to ensure you can know with precision the amount of fuel that has been consumed by that vehicle, and whether it's diesel or petrol.
Auditor General, we request you to keep this in view so that you can report back on whether there are sufficient controls to prevent misuse. But we agree with the Auditor General that there have been weaknesses in fuel management. I think that should allow us to move on.
Chair, can I?
Senator Onyonka, it is 4:09 p.m.
Just 1 second.
Yes.
I wanted to, having a sore throat, I just wanted to raise the issue with the mobility manager and the governor that even whether you're going to do the containerized fueling system within the county government, if you don't have a GPS system, you don't have a report that is given from whoever that is assigning your driver to go and work somewhere, and you understand, Governor, that this technology would be giving you the mileage and the distances and where your vehicles are working. I think you understand where I am. And I hope that you may possibly think about adopting such a system.
Governor, let that not generate a debate. Let's proceed to issue number 2.5.
Chair, I had asked him to answer, then I conclude.
No, we have already given directives.
Okay, kindly, Chair. Just allow me to...
No, I will direct that we move to the next issue. It is 4:10 p.m.
Just 1 minute for my response.
Order, Governor, it is for your benefit that we are proceeding. Otherwise, if it gets to 5 o'clock, we shall adjourn and you'll come back here tomorrow.
Chair, just allow me to 1 minute.
I'll give you 30 seconds.
Surely, Chair.
Proceed.
The reason we come here is to answer. Allow us to answer the questions, the audit questions.
Yes, but we also have our
The fuel
timelines.
management system that we are now implementing, that is at award stage, includes GPS, includes a fuel station, a petrol station, physical, at our central garage, where we'll be getting fuel below commercial rate. That is a negotiation we got into, and we can be able to tell, even if fuel is siphoned, immediately an alert will come out from that vehicle. So it's going to be a fuel management system on each and every tank of the vehicles for the county.
Fine.
That is the process we're in.
Auditor General, you'll confirm whether the tumepanga na tumetenga is true in your next cycle of audit.
Well noted, Chair.
Distribution of goods.
No, you should wish well the governor. Yeah. You should wish well to the governor.
I know what wakes Cherarkei up. 2.5 on distribution of goods. We take note of the Auditor General's finding. 127 million paid to suppliers for various miscellaneous items. Auditor General, were the payment vouchers supported with receipt and issue vouchers? Has that been demonstrated in the response?
Chair, we said we have received the stores receipt and issue vouchers. All that is remaining is confirmation of the originals.
So you will, this is one of those areas you said that you still need time to confirm.
Yes, Chair, that is one.
Fine, so do that confirmation so that when you're writing a report, you can advise us. 2.6 on supply of goods under emergency department. Again, we take note of the audit. So if it's a position of the county that those issue vouchers, receipt and issue vouchers do not exist, it is upon the committee to make a determination on whether the procurement officers or the persons involved in this procurement complied with the law, even if it was an emergency procurement. Because I can see that the county's response is very brief, that due to the emergency nature, materials were directly delivered to the end users. But there is also the other question of COVID time. Everyone had a professional responsibility to do the right thing. 2.9, retreats at an unknown venue.
Who was the governor then? Chair, this is laughable. Could be the governor be under security threat. Could not reveal where they were.
So we are querying the payment of 2.9 million, which was paid for a retreat whose venue was not disclosed for audit review. Governor, could you tell us the venue for this event?
According to the documentation, it is Marbolak Hotel. That is the response that we've given. That is the training for drivers. And
Auditor General,
documents provided.
do you confirm?
auditors.
Have they now provided documentation to confirm that?
Chair, we don't have appendix 2.6.